Attention passionate Dallas Cowboys fans. Latest news. Something big is happening in the NFC East, and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another championship run. A power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before we dive in, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and fellow Dallas Cowboys fans. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, if you've been paying attention to the NFL landscape lately, you know that the NFC East is heating up in ways we haven't seen in years. The Dallas Cowboys, always a team to watch, are once again at the center of conversations. Not just because of their on-field performance, but also because of the ripple effects off the field that could impact their future for seasons to come. And one of those talking points that has been gaining traction recently involves some interesting developments surrounding the family of Dean Sanders, one of the most iconic players in NFL history, and how his legacy continues to influence the league and more specifically the Cowboys. Dean Sanders, as many of you know, played only 5 seasons for the Cowboys, but his impact was nothing short of legendary. He helped lead the franchise to its most recent Super Bowl victory in 1995, a moment etched in the minds of Cowboys fans forever. Dion, of course, earned an ALP Pro selection in each of the 4 seasons he played with the team, cementing his status as one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history. His swagger, his talent, and his big play ability made him a fan favorite. And even years after retiring, he remains a towering figure in the football world. Now, his influence extends beyond just his playing days. His sons, Shedeur Sanders and Shilo Sanders, are trying to carve out their own paths in the league, and their journeys are sparking a lot of conversation among fans and analysts alike. The story of these 2 young athletes is fascinating. Shedeur, a quarterback, and Shilo, a safety, have followed in their father's footsteps, playing football at the college level at Jackson State and later at Colorado. They've been under the spotlight for quite some time, partly because of their father's fame and partly because of their undeniable talent. There was always speculation that Jerry Jones and the Cowboys might look to bring one of them into the fold, especially given Dean's legendary status and the high regard in which he held in football circles. There was even talk that Dean himself might become the Cowboys' next head coach if the right opportunity arose, especially if Mike McCarthy's tenure didn't go as planned. But as we all know, that didn't materialize. Instead, Shedeur was drafted in the 5th round by the Cleveland Browns, while Shilo wasn't drafted at all, but signed as an undrafted free agent with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, this is where the story gets complicated. Shilo's time with Tampa Bay was brief and tumultuous. He was waived on August 24th, just a day after an incident in the preseason finale where he threw a punch at Buffalo Bills tight end Zach Davidson. That altercation was enough to raise eyebrows and, frankly, to end his chances of making the roster. The punch, which might seem like a small detail, actually carries a lot of weight in the NFL, where discipline and professionalism are scrutinized heavily. That act of aggression, even if it was just a moment of frustration, overshadowed his talent and erased any chance he might have had to prove himself during the preseason. And naturally, after his release, rumors started swirling about the Dallas Cowboys potentially bringing him in. Fans and analysts love a good story, and the idea of adding Shilo Sanders to the Cowboys roster fits that narrative perfectly. But let us be clear, this isn't a move that makes sense for Dallas right now. The team is solid at safety with Malik Hooker, Donovan Wilson, Juanier Thomas, and Marquez Bell, all currently on the main roster. Plus, they weaned undrafted rookie Aliga Clark to the practice squad, which shows the front office is already investing in young talent at that position. The truth is, Shilo simply isn't as experienced or as polished as the guys already filling those spots. And given the recent incident, his chances of landing with Dallas are slim to none. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Dallas Cowboys news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead. It's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let's continue with the big reveal. But beyond the roster composition and the technicalities, what is really interesting is the larger picture that this situation paints. Shilo's release highlights how NFL teams are increasingly aware of off-field behavior and the impact it can have on a player's career. In today's SNFL, it's not just about talent. Character, discipline, and professionalism are just as crucial, especially for teams with high aspirations like the Cowboys. And let us not forget, the Cowboys under Jerry Jones are no strangers to drama. Just recently, they traded away Micah Parsons, a move that sent shockwaves through the league and stirred up conversations about the team's long-term direction. That trade signaled a clear shift in strategy, sometimes bold, sometimes controversial, but always with an eye toward building a team that can contend for championships. Now, bringing it back to Dan Sanders, his influence in the league is undeniable. His sons' careers are a testament to his legacy, and their journey has been closely watched by fans and media alike. Shador, the quarterback, has shown promise, but he is still finding his rhythm in the NFL. He has got talent, no doubt, but stepping into a league full of seasoned veterans is no easy task. Meanwhile, Shilo's case is a bit different. As a safety, he has fighting to establish himself, and his recent setback, getting waived, adds a layer of complexity to that quest. But it is worth noting that Dan's name still opens doors, even if it has sometimes unfairly. So the spotlight on his family can be a double-edged sword. But one thing is for sure, everything they do tends to attract attention, and that is something NFL teams are always watching. The larger question, though, is how this all impacts the Dallas Cowboys. As I mentioned earlier, the division rivals are watching these developments closely. The NFC East is a battleground, and every move the Cowboys make is scrutinized. They've even been building a roster that is capable of competing at the highest level, but recent changes like trading away key players and the ongoing saga of roster management demonstrate that the team is always in flux. The trade of Micah Parsons, for example, was a bold move. Some say risky, but it signals that the Cowboys are willing to shake things up if it means getting closer to their ultimate goal, another Super Bowl championship. And let us be honest, the NFL landscape is more competitive than ever. Every team is looking to find an edge, whether it is through draft picks, trades, or shrewd signings. For Dallas, maintaining that edge means making smart decisions, focusing on team chemistry, and keeping the locker room stable. Bringing in a player like Shilo Sanders might generate some buzz, but in reality, the team is already well-equipped at safety, and they've shown a clear focus on building a disciplined, cohesive unit. That doesn't mean the team isn't aware of the Sanders family's story, but it does mean they rep prioritizing performance and character over potential headlines. On the fan side, this entire saga has sparked a lot of debate. Some fans see Shilo Sanders' release as a setback and worry about the message it sends to young players about discipline. Others believe that talent always finds a way. And maybe, just maybe, the right situation could still emerge for him somewhere else. But for the Cowboys, it is a matter of timing and fit. They're in a position where they need consistency and stability to make a real push for championship, especially with the NFC landscape shifting. Teams like the San Francisco 49ers, the Philadelphia Eagles, and even the Detroit Lions are all making bold moves, and Dallas knows that they can afford to fall behind. Looking ahead, the Cowboys have a lot to focus on. Their current roster is formidable, but the off-season is always a time of change. The draft, free agency, and internal development are all part of the process to keep the team at the top. The coaching staff, led by Mike McCarthy, is under pressure to get the most out of their players and to adapt to the evolving NFL game. Meanwhile, the front office continues to evaluate every move through the lens of winning a Super Bowl. The goal is clear, but the path is always fraught with challenges, controversies, and unexpected twists like the saga of Day's sons and how their careers unfold. And that brings us back to the bigger picture. The NFL is a league where legacies are built and sometimes shattered in a single moment. Dean Sanders' influence, his legendary career, and now his children's pursuit of greatness add a rich layer to the ongoing story of the Cowboys and the league as a whole. It has a reminder that football isn't just about XS and OS. It has about stories, characters, and the relentless pursuit of excellence. Fans like us live for these moments, the drama, the triumphs, and the setbacks that make the game so captivating. So, as we watch the upcoming season unfold, keep in mind that every move, every draft pick, and every headline adds a new chapter to Dallas Cowboys history. This franchise has seen its share of ups and downs, but one thing remains constant. the passion of its fans, and the relentless pursuit of greatness. Whether it as a new signing, a draft surprise, or a dramatic off-field story like this one, the Cowboys are always in the thick of it. And no matter what happens, we're here to cover it, analyze it, and celebrate everything that makes this team special. Because after all, being a Cowboys fan isn't just a hobby. It has a lifestyle, a passion, a lifelong journey filled with hope, pride, and the unwavering belief that the star on the helmet symbolizes excellence. So stay tuned because the NFL season is just around the corner, and the Cowboys are ready to write another chapter in their storied history. Whether they remaking bold moves or facing tough setbacks, one thing as for sure, the passion of the fans, the thrill of the game, and the pursuit of another Super Bowl title will keep us all glued to the action. And remember, this story isn't just about players or trades. It's about the heart and soul of Dallas Cowboys football, a team that has been a symbol of hope and resilience for decades. So, buckle up, Cowboys Nation, because this season promises to be unforgettable, filled with drama, excitement, and the relentless drive to bring that Lombardi trophy back to Arlington. See you in the next video.